Now here I'm going to go very, very quick because in important forms there's not really new things or hidden away new agendas that can sneak in. Now within the report, this is the one where I tell the kids if you don't use the wizard, you're in trouble. Unless they tell you to design your own report from scratch. But because of time issues, they will never really ask a question like that. Okay, let's hope so. I hope so. Touch me. I don't want to be wrong this year. But with the report, we use the wizard. Reason why is the wizard is a step-by-step instruction for the learner on how to create the report, according to the specific criteria. So what we do is, you all know how to do the wizard. No, I don't need to show the wizard. Please don't say show the wizard. Okay. Wizard gives you the steps they select. What's important here is this, and this is where the learners, that's why I actually took a screenshot. In the wizard, because we now say use the wizard, the kids just go next, until they're done. Because they don't read the question. So what happens is they miss this part here, and then they tell us they don't know how to group. Because in the wizard, it actually comes up with a little window saying, do you want to add any grouping levels? Oh, that's such a nice English. And because they just click next, they don't see it. So please show them, take your time, read your screens. Okay. My husband said, yeah, that's a problem with cat and IT teachers as well. We get frustrated with all the pop-ups going up, so we just go next until it's done. And in the meantime, we might be downloading things we're not aware that we're downloading. Because he mows at me all the time. He says, have you read that window? And I'm like, yeah, I did. He says, are you sure? So ask him, are you sure that you read properly? Then, if we have an existing report, because this is what I do get, how do you go about changing an existing report to have groupings in it? Now, there's different options onto doing this. Now, I like the shortcut way. I always like to cut corners in the way. And mine is literally to right-click on any of those, the report header or page header or so, right-click and click on Shorting. And then when I do that, it immediately will show me the bottom part that you see there, where it says add a group and add sort. But also on your, if you're in your report, on your design ribbon, it got the little icon that says group and sort. So you just click on the icon, and when you click on the icon, it will display the bottom option again. Okay, so those are the different options. Right click on it, or use the ribbon to click on it. Now, what's important is that when you're inside the groupings, and this is also where the learners don't read, they need to now go and click on add a grouping. And they need to select which field they want to group by. And if they have to change a field, they need to make sure they selected the correct field that needs to be changed to. And very important with this one is, and this is what I forget to do, the learners forget to go in when they're in here. See the two options. There's the first one, it actually displays it nicely for me. When they're in here, and it's here with a group on, they forget to go to here, to the next where it says more options. And then it says here, without a footer section. Because now they need to put in a formula function. And they're going to say to you, but I don't have a footer. You didn't activate the footer. No wonder you don't have it.
But they mark it correct if they put the function in the header anyway.
Yeah, these days, yeah. But don't tell it to kids.
No, I don't. I tell them because if it doesn't specify that it has to be in a footer, then it's an unnecessary extra step actually.
Yeah. If it doesn't specify, yeah, but again, I like to teach the kids just to, be safe.
Yeah.
Because you might have not read the last little fine print that says it must be in the footer. And I put in the header and lose them all. So they need to be specific about it. But I forget about this little part here. Show them that there's more options towards that type of field. Okay. So there we go. So that's one thing to look at when you work with the learners on that.
Sorry I'm taking over. I find shortcuts that I enjoy sharing. Quickly show you this. If say I made a new report. That's not actually the part I want to show you, but that's quite an important part there. So let's say we have that. There's no grouping, what. Okay? Now, if I add grouping now, so let's say I want to group it according to investor country. If I add grouping now, and I do it with this method, where I add a group, investor country, it creates a header, but you'll see it doesn't look normal where the Argentina is at the top, hey? Because that's what it usually looks like when we group it. So, if you do it this way, if you do it in the layout view, you can right-click on the field and say group on investor country, and then it automatically moves it in the header. I don't know if they ask for a grouping afterwards, whether I think they also give a mark for moving the name into the header section. So in other words, instead of investor country, the field staying there, or the text box staying there, they need to move it to the country header. But if they do it in the layout view, that happens automatically. So from the layout view, you can add sorting and you can add grouping. And that just does the step of moving it to the top automatically.
That's why I've got clear on the right side. Thanks, Claire. Now I also know another shortcut. I like shortcuts. The big thing is, if you're not busy with these programs every day, you keep on missing shortcuts like this. So that's why I don't mind. Thank you. You're more than welcome. Okay. I'm an open trainer, I like to get everyone involved. Okay, next one is now the formula and functions. Now this is very similar to what Claire was saying as well. If they don't specify where the formula or function needs to be. Now remember, formula and function must either be in a report header, report footer, or in a grouping header and footer. Not in a page header or footer. That's the only place it's not allowed to be at all. But what do we find? Where is the learner going to put it? In a page footer. I don't know why. We'll be preaching it every time to them, and they still don't give it in a page footer. So again here, if they don't specify, it can either be in the header or it could be in the footer, but not the page. There was a question this year in the June paper again, where they had to put a date in a text box in a page footer. Just by a show of hands, how many of your learners were able to do that? And you know, it was so easy, because they just had to change the object to a text box and not have it as a label. That's all they had to do. But they didn't even try to attempt it, because the date was already there. They just had to change the object to a text box. And if it did appear with a label in front, it was just need to remove it, not have it linked. But they couldn't even do it, because even the schools I've moderated, the kids couldn't do that one. That's quite interesting to see. Okay. So here we go with our formula and functions. We set it up. Now it's also, I don't know if 2016 does the same, but I know in 2010, 2013, if you type in a formula, it actually shows you the field. If you'll start using the field as well. It shows you which field you want to calculate. And it has it nicely linked with a line through. You see that in Access when you do it through the learning. So it helps them to guide if they're using the correct field. Because if they're using a wrong field, it doesn't appear. It doesn't show the link with the formula. Because that means that calculation then will not work. Okay. So the next activity, activity 16. Let's quickly look at an activity, the solution for it. Okay. So here we go. This is the block allocation. Report shows only the educational level, the type, the names, and the race, and no test fields. Okay, the report firstly group according to the educational level, then secondly group by the type. And then the function in a type group, footer, or the group header, you see it doesn't matter which one, must be there, and then it's count the names. said raise and number of tests instead of names. They could have a raise or number of tests, or they could have just said count with a star. Okay. Because the star means any field. Because they didn't specify which field specifically. Okay. So here we go. This is how it's set up. And then we go to our type footer, and we put in the number of people as the count of number of tests. Now, Claire and I was now just talking about it. Okay, let me just show you the whole thing. There's the different headers, there's the header, and there's the function that's been entered, and that's the 2 marks. Ladies and gentlemen, the software is getting so easy to use, if I can use that term, that it actually can guide you into doing things. For instance, if you now look at this, there's our access. There's our different fields, the investor name, investor surname, and number of coins. And we want to now say, get a total for the number of coins. What's nice is, if you click on the field name inside the detail, very important, must be inside the detail. If you click on the field name inside the detail, and on your report design tools ribbon, in the design, there's the auto sum. You see there's the auto sum key that we use. If you click on the down arrow, it provides you with the functions that can be used on that specific cell. You know, that specific field. If I now go to the investor surname, and I click on it, it will only allow you to count the records or count the values that's in there. You see the difference? Now, if I go back, I just want to show you. If you click now by accident on the page header, it's great. You can't select it. You can only on the detail. If you click on detail there, go to your totals and we say sum, it automatically opens up the footer with the function in it. It's so easy. That's why I say I don't understand why the kids still see Access so hard. But the problem is, like I said before, we don't go and play and get all the shortcuts. Because you sit with learners and you try and do it the same effort, but show other stuff as well. So that's why I said to her, you know, jump in, because you're in the class the whole time. You pick up these little small hacks on how to get it to know. And then it. And look how easy those marks are for the learner.
The downside of this method, if you want to do another function on the same field, like average, it replaces it. So it doesn't allow you to do 2 functions. It replaces it, will then change the sum to an average. So if you click on this one and you want to do an average, you see it changes. It gives a tick box, which function do you want to do. So, but at least this is 3 marks that your learner that usually struggles wouldn't have gotten at the drop of a hat.
There we go. Okay, the next one, activity 17. Why 17? Oh, 17. We haven't done 17, have we? Wait, which one have we done? 16. There's 17. Grouping change to investment term field. Field investment term appears in group header and footer. Function inserted in invested country group or footer or group header. Then we need to have a count, investor surname, or any other field. And with this one, they had to have a label.
Can you please show us how to replace? Because I can't replace it there and I'm struggling to.
Investment date must change to investor term. Okay, so here we've got a problem now. We've got the investment term header, but the field that's in the heading is investment date. So this time we need to go switch the fields ourselves. Take the investment date down and move the investment term up. So then we just drag this investment date down and we move over this side, and we can move investment term up. It did count mark. Okay. So now you'll see there now long, medium, short. It doesn't have to be in the correct position, but it's first or something. It just has to be in the correct area of the report.
So there we go. So investment term and investment date has just been pushed. And then account and grouping. Has anyone found any other way of doing it? Share with us? No. Also just a moving. Maybe added this investment date and investment term in there. Okay, so you need to add it in there. That's what I mentioned there. There's your footer with the function in. An account again can be a star because I didn't specify. It must only be this field. And then a suitable label would need to be added.
What is the function that is count?
Count.
Count. Okay.
Count. Because you're working with the investor's surname. Or any field. You just want to see how many people have invested according to the specific grouping.
Okay, because I use the sum looking at the wage total number.
Yeah, no, assumption.
Okay.
Just want to double check that everyone knows. There are obviously other ways of having done that. You could have added a group there and just moved the group up. Because you can change the position of the group. And then the only other thing that I just wanted to say is if you then count the people in the investor country, you can go do that, but you must remember, it doesn't add a label automatically there. So that shortcut doesn't add a label, but in this instance they would have lost one mark. They can go add it by hand, and go add a label afterwards, but personally I don't. Most of the people at least get the marks for the counting, and usually they don't ask for a label. In most questions they don't actually ask or specify that a label should be there, so then they don't lose any marks. But just be aware that you can change the order of the groupings and the sortings. So for example, if there's a sort above a group, the group won't even work. So you need to check that the order at the bottom there is correct, and you can move it in the corner with these buttons.
Looking at forms, our time is again, that's one. Now with a form, the majority of the time they will be asked to make changes to the form. So they need to make sure that they actually can make the changes. So very important in making changes to the form, they need to be in design view. It's just easier to work with the design view when you make the changes. Now, they need to go and then work with the form design tools. Now these controls are very similar to when you create your form, your automatic form inside Word. They work on the same controls. Okay. So what we need to do is when we make sure it's there, is that in your access, we have it here, there's the form. In our form we go, we have it open and we change it to design view. And it has the different designs for us. But now, I want to actually go to one that I want to show you the last time we worked with. So I did this one. Yeah. I have, here's my form. As you can see, the gender here has only got a normal edit box or a text box, like it's called in that you type in. But we want to make sure that learners don't type it in correctly. There's no errors. So we want to change that to a drop-down box, okay, or a combo box. Now go to my design view. I click on my gender, click on my property sheet. Okay, it's open. I've changed the gender now to a combo box for me. There's my combo box. Then you have to go to your row source type. And here you need to now go change it to a value list. If you're in a value list and you go back to your row source and you click on Eclipse, it will now give you your separator line, or else it's going to give you a builder. Okay, so now I can put in an M, and I can put in an F, and I can say, okay.
Why don't you select row source?
Okay. Remember in the table, we said to the kids, they start with the first one, and they do the first one, then they go to the next, the row source, they click on it, they select, and they go to the type, and they select. In Access, you need to skip the row source. That's the one that comes last. Because in the table form, it is the last one, it's the third option. But here now, in the property sheet, it's the second option. So it needs to be changed last. So the first one you change is the row source type. So you first need to indicate to it that it needs to use a specific type. Okay? Where it's a value list, because we're working with values. And then you go to your row source and you select it. If we had a table or a query that only displays female and males, only the gender, we would have selected that specific query. But because it doesn't have that field individually on its own, with the data in it, you select it like that. For instance, if I now had a table here, and my table is only called, this one is called gender. Yay. My typing is letting me down. My gender is the text. Go to there, and I put in M, and I put in F. Just that. Okay? So I will table 1. I go back to my 4. Up here, if I now when I say I want a table query, I go back to my source, and I want to use table 1. It's going to view it correctly for me as well. Why is it not giving me the F? Okay. No, I don't think it's still open. That's probably my nap. It's not saved. Take. Small little things. There we go. Okay, I had it open and didn't save it. Small error. Happy with that one. So if it refers to a specific table where you're going to get your row source data from, they have to use the table. If it's not saying that, they use a value, they use the value. Any question on that? Did I go too fast? Happy with it? Okay. So let's quickly look at activities. There's 21 activities, so we're going to skip 19. We're going to look at activity 20. Okay, activity 20, the solution. So we have to add a label and examination in the form header. So the learners get marks for having a label where they put in the exam number in the header. Then a combo box or list box has been added, and the combo box values were based on table 5.2 and now the link to the investment term field. So the row source is table 2, or select table 5.2, investment term from table 5.2, or long, medium, or short. And then the row type is the table or a query value. So if they've done it themselves, meaning if they entered long, medium, or short, the source type must be value list. If they went and they took it from the table 5.2, the source type must be table. Okay. So there we have it. We put in the exam numbers in the label. And this is where I picked up the teachers don't really mark from the, they don't click on the items like they're supposed to. Because it must be a label. Now sometimes the edit box or the text box looks like a label as well, if it doesn't have a label in front. You literally need to click on the object and make sure in the properties sheet it is a label. Because that was the problem now of the June exams. It looks like a text box that they could have changed, the label they could have changed to a text box, so the teacher just gives the marks. But when you click on it, you still see it's a label. So please be careful on it. Then the combo box that we have to add. So if they've done a text box, I allocate 1 mark. They lose the second mark. Then now our combo box, and here we go. Investment term is our control source that we want to work with. And then in the row source, we have our selected table, and then a table query. Now remember that they don't need to type in, because if they went to the source type and they said table/query, and I go back to the row source, they just need to click on the table. The rest of that code will be done by Access. Okay. We don't teach them to do code. The IT learners must know how to type in that select code. That's IT, that's SQL. But the CAT learners just need to go and select the table like you saw we've done now as well, an example, and then it's there. Now, before you do your pre-test, I just want to quickly, because I saw someone asking about the activity 19 with the button control. Okay? Insert a button control in the details. Okay, now let's see, I'm going to ask the teacher. I need to end this session on a high note. Who can explain to me what I need to do? I'm going to open this form, and I need a teacher to explain to me what to do. Okay. You have your activities in front of me. We're working on activity 19, so it's on the 2015 axis. So I'm opening the 2015 axis. Now, I don't want a teacher that I've been with to tell me now. I want a different teacher. Now in Form 5, I need to add a button. A button control. Anyone that wants to help me or guide me? No, look at it. Oh, no, that row's not allowed to answer. Okay, here we go. I'm in design.
And then the button is after the third icon.
Wait a minute. The third icon to me is this one here. Aha! This is what the learners also done. Yeah? Okay, so I'm in my ribbon. I'm in the Form Design Tools ribbon on the Design tab. In the Controls grouping, I will see there's my controls available for me. And then the fourth icon from the left, there's the button. Okay, so I click on the button and then to where? Where? Where in the details? After the server ID, but there's no space, man. What do I need to drag down? My detail. I'm being funny now. I can't drag because I've already selected the tool. Okay, now I've dragged, yeah? Now I select the tool and then you put it on. Now I'm getting to them. I'm really now getting annoyed with you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm doing this on purpose. There's a reason why. We explain things in the class. Okay? We explain access to the learners in class. And then we say, click on your icon and put it down. This is the first time these kids get to know access. Where are they supposed to put it down? Your terminology in the class is vital. If you just say to them, look at a ribbon and it's there. Really? It's all over. Be careful on how you use terminology in your class. Because if you say, oh man, it's a thing with the X's on it, what are they going to write in your theory box. It's a thing with the X's on it. Click on it. That's what we get in our theory papers, aren't it? Okay, so now I've done the pattern. What's important now is I need to look at what the action needs to be. So here they say it must be go to the next record. So I click on go to the next record because it needs to record navigation for me. And I say next. I want to use a picture because I want it with a little icon with an arrow that points to the right. I click on next. I don't need to give it a name, and I click on finish. And there's my little button. And if I now go to my view, start with number 1. Instead of using the arrows down here, I'm now using my navigation that's been placed, and it goes through to the second button. Okay. There we go. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the last part of today is your wonderful post test. Okay, so there we go. There is the link.